So, welcome to your yoga mat, to this space of self healing. And this practice is just simply a guide to help you understand your body and to explore your body and to connect with your body even more so. So, we're going to continue with this idea about exploration, exploring a physical form, but how our physical form is so connected to our emotional body too. So today's practice is about our legs. So I may have mentioned that we may sweat a little. It's because we're going to hold the poses. It's going to be more of a hatha practice. So it means that it's not really, vinyasa, inhaling, exhaling. And, I typically don't teach that way anyway. It's more hatha yoga, but we'll concentrate on this hatha yoga practice to really help us really solidify the alignment and again the foundation of our feet and our legs. So we have to bring in last week's practice too, the feet, because that's such an essential part of the practice of creating the foundations and creating that solid space for us to really stand on, or even if we're seated. And then how our legs are put into play in all of that. So I'll also introduce to you things are called spirals, which is things that we'll do with our legs. And it's not really moving our legs. It's like a motion that we do with the bones and the muscles to help our body stand straighter or bring our bones into perfect alignment. So I'll incorporate all of this into our practice and our exploration today, but also taking care of yourself is so essential. So as we hold poses and it feels like you can't hold a pose in a way that's benefiting you, or it feels that you need to take a moment of rest, you can always modify or change or make it a little bit easier, if you will. Nothing's going to be overly difficult. It's going to be more bringing your mind and your brain into the sole of your foot, into the toes of your foot, into your ankle bone, into your lower leg, into your knee, into your upper leg, and even the hip. Like this whole area is connected, but we will do hips as its own practice as well. So let us do this. Get started. Easy cross-legged, hands on the knees, palms turned down, eyes softly closed. Gaze right between this point of the third eye, gently looking up. We're going to find the breath in the body. And then we're going to press all the breath out. Or inhale together. Or exhale together. And we take this first minute or so to find ourselves seated. No matter what's happened before this or after this is going to happen, this is this moment that we take now for ourselves. This moment of quietening inwardly, finding the inner self, the inner stillness. In fact, that inner guru that guides us every day. Maybe we don't hear the inner guru, lost beneath all our thoughts and our thinking, must-dos, should-have-dones. I am nots. Let your tip of your tongue slightly rest upwards towards that point, but right between or right after the two front teeth, where the gums meet the teeth. Feel your breath as your belly expands. And the breath moves up. It's like a balloon. It's 360 degrees all the way around you. It spirals up the spine towards the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, you press the breath out. And as we sit in this space, use your legs. Press your legs into the earth, even with them cross-legged. You're going to press your outer shins, your outer ankle bones. You want to keep your legs somewhat engaged. Yoga is that whole body experience. So while we're even stretching our toes, we're making sure that our nose or our tongue is relaxed. We take a couple more, pressing the feet and the legs down to the mat so that you can almost ascend your upper body, elevate your upper body, and moves upwards out of the hips, because this foundation is so strong and so powerful and so supportive. Let's do 2 more deep breaths here together in the space. Feel the flow of the breath through the back of the throat. Never rushing your breath. Listen to the sound of the breath as you exhale. Squeezing the breath out, navel to the lower spine. Last inhale, deeply. Top of this breath, we're going to hold the breath. Fill your lungs up, take another sip of breath in. That's it, we can sip more breath in. This time, open your mouth. Hold the breath out. Inhale, arms up, reach up, look up. Palms touch, and as a gesture as we slide the hands down to the point of the crown. It's like we're anointing the third eye to the lips and to the heart, honoring thyself. Take another full deep breath in. Exhale, chin to chest. Take this moment to offer yourself an intention, a heartfelt prayer. Knowing as we move through these gateways, these doorways, these retrogrades, there's time for deep contemplation. What is it that we need right now to support ourselves? What do you need right now to support you? Interlace the fingers, press the palms up towards the sky, look up. Stretch the body out from the hips. Gentle side body stretch one side. Through the center. Big breath in, out through the other side. Breath out, finding that space in the body. We'll do each side 2 more times. Reaching up. Side body stretch. Inhaling up. One more each side. Next one, reach up, look up, stretch in front of your throat. Exhale, hands down behind you. If you're seated on your cushion, you want to move that out the way. Oops. Bring your feet on the ground. Turn our feet like slightly outwards and then use your hands. We're going to come forward into Malasana. So Malasana is, it's a grounding pose. It's also for the hips. It's also for the spine. It also wakes up the legs because sometimes we don't usually sit like this. Hands at the place of the heart. And if you're not used to sitting like this, you may, like your shins, get a good workout here too. Now, if you need something under your heels, you can always take a blanket or cushion and you can stick it under your heels. You just lift them up and stick it under your heels. That works too. That helps you out. Hands at the place of the heart. Let the thumbs touch the sternum as best as possible. Press the elbows into the knees. Tuck your tailbone underneath you. Lengthen through your spine. Close your eyes. Find your feet. Lift your toes, spread them wide open, and then bring them each down from the baby toe side to the big toe. Press into your heel. Find your inner arch. See if you can pull the ball of the foot towards the heel towards the ball of the foot. Breathe in here. Squeeze the knees towards your elbows. Elbows in towards your knees. We'll take 2 more deep breaths. No, 1 more. This time out through the mouth. Hands down towards the ground. We're going to straighten the legs. If you're seated or standing on a blanket, move it out the way. Forward fold. Feet are a little bit wider than hip distance apart. You can lightly turn the toes out towards the side. You're going to bend down and then bend your knees here. So these are going to be important cues. Bend your knees here and let your chest and your stomach rest on your thighs. And let your upper body just sink down towards the mat. Let the crown of the head gently move side to side. Just shake out your head. Feel your feet on the ground. Find your toes again. Look at your toes. Lift and spread them wide open. Place them again down from the baby toe side to the big toe. Then come to the tips of the fingers. We're going to press into the hands and the feet. We're going to straighten the legs as best as possible. Now your hands can be right under your shoulders here. I'll show you too. If you have a block or blocks are good to have too. You can lengthen your arms out here so it can really strengthen And straighten the legs. Now the knees can be slightly micro bent, so you don't want to press your knees back. This is an important piece. You want to keep them micro bent. And then we're going to exhale, fold in. We can walk the hands towards the feet here. You can curl your spine a little bit too. You can straighten your legs as best as possible. Again, that micro bend in the knees. And then again, inhale, walk the arms forward, hands under the shoulders. Inhale, come halfway lift. Shoulder blades towards the midline. Lengthen your upper body. Press your thigh bones back. You want to create space between your thighs and your upper body here. And then the same when you fold in, it's sinking in, softening your groin, softening your navel, crown of the head towards the mat. Curl inch into chest. We do that 2 more times. We're going to inhale, come halfway lift. You can put fingertips on the blocks, on the ground, halfway up. Straighten your legs as best as possible, that micro bend. And then again, exhale, fold in, crown of the head towards the mat. Maybe walk your hands further back. Curl in. You can curl your upper spine. That's good. Chin to chest. And then 1 more time. Inhale, come halfway up. This time, heel to your feet so they're right under your hips. And your feet are pointing straight forward. Look at your second toe. And your second toe should draw a line all the way through the middle of your kneecap, all the way to your hip bone here. Both sides, and these should be parallel. So check that out. And look at your feet. Spread them wide open. Again, toes, lift them up, spread them, and then your baby toe down, second or fourth, middle, second toe, big toe. Hands on the hips here. Bend your knees here, and then come up with a straight spine. So we're going to start from my feet to find our legs. Look at your feet again. Make sure they're that hip distance apart and the feet are parallel, those second toes parallel. Feel your feet in the ground. Lift your toes, spread them wide open. Bring them down from the baby's side all the way to the big toe. And then you suction your feet as if you're trying to pull the ball of your foot towards your heel and the heel towards your ball of your foot to your inner ankles. These inner arches are going to lift up. There's a seam here on your inner thighs. You want that to lift up. So there's a little spiral here. So listen, this is it's a little complex. Your bottom part of your leg, you want to spiral it inwards here. Even your inner groins here. So it's like you're kind of making your knees a little bit knock-kneed, if you will. So this is an extreme. But then we're going to find our outer hips. And we're going to use our outer hips to pull that back. So everything is back in alignment, but this action is still happening. If I let my outer hips go, this is going to happen. And then I pull it back. So this is an inner spiral here. And then this is an outer spiral. And these spirals are important when we're standing and when we're doing standing poses. Hands at the place of the heart. Close your eyes here for a moment. Feel the space where you stand, your feet on the earth. Elongate through the spine. Find that length on your breath in. Exhale out through the mouth. As inhale, swing the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips. Heart leads head towards the knees. Bow in. Inhale, halfway lift. Come to the balls of the feet. Lift your heels. So we engage in the legs here, your quadriceps. These muscles here are engaged. Exhale, heels down. Lift up the right foot. And the heel and the foot is in alignment with your left hip. And then press this left leg back. Stay here and breathe. You're going to flex your right foot and then bend into the right knee and float this right foot to the back edge of the mat. And fingertips for either side, and this is where the blocks come in, either side of your front foot. Lift your chest off your front thigh. Lean forward and then press back into your back heel. So you want your back heel pressing back. You don't want it coming forward and you don't want it all the way back. You want it right over the ball of your foot. Your legs are going to be nice, strong, and straight. You can come to the tips of the fingers. Again, this is where the blocks come in. You can also make them higher. Whatever it is that you need. You want this front knee to be right over this front ankle. And this is important, especially if you have knee problems. You want this knee to be right over that ankle bone. Stay here and breathe. We bend a little bit deep into this front knee. So if you can bring this front thigh parallel to the earth. Take another deep breath here. Back leg is nice and strong and straight. And we step the back foot forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold in. Curl your upper spine. Inhale, come halfway up, come to the balls of the feet. Make your legs nice and strong. Your ankle bones, look at them, make sure they're not pressing outwards, they're squeezing towards the midline. Bring your heels down, lift the left leg up. You want to make sure that this is flat on top of your hips. The standing leg, you can micro bend the knee. Make sure the second knee, this knee is over your second toe. Flex your back foot. You can drop your head and look. Stand here and breathe. This quadricep is engaged, and slowly start to bend into this front knee and float this left foot to the back edge of the mat. Drop your head and make sure that heel is right over the ball of the foot. Tips of the fingers on your blocks. Find your breath. Stay here and breathe. Inhaling. Exhaling. See if you can bend into this front knee just a little bit more. Bring this thigh so it's parallel to the earth. Remember your back heel. You don't want it pressing back. You want to bring it right over the ball of your foot. Inhale here. Exhale here. On this front hip here, there's this outer spiral, that thing that we did, that second spiral on the back, the upper part of this hip wants to press downward. Take another deep breath here. This time, hands flat on the mat. When you step to a high plank, bring your legs together. Squeeze the legs. Big inhale. Big exhale, then exhale. Knees, chest, chin to the mat. Ashta Namaskar. Bottoms in the air. Then float forward, straighten the legs, point the toes. Inhale, cobra. Lifting your heart. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. So when we come to our first down dog, because normally the legs are tight, they're still cold, so pedal at your feet. Bend one knee so deeply that the chest touches the thigh, or the thigh touches the chest. And then the other side. Now you can drop your head. So there's no need to hold anything up. This allows all those thoughts that aren't yours to drop out of your head. Connect to your Ujjayi breath, that breath of victorious breath, that breath of sound. Now strain your both legs as best as possible. If the heels are off the mat, that's not a problem. Look at your feet. Make sure they're hip distance apart, not too narrow and not too wide, hip distance apart. Press into your left heel. Take your right leg up straight. So if you have this tendency to bend your knee on the way up, see if you can lift it straight. Imagine that you have a pencil between your toes. Lift it straight up here. The hip should be as high, the heel should be as high as your hip. Drop your head. Breathe here. Press to that inner seam of the lifted leg. Make your inner seam a little bit longer. Come high onto the left heel. Look at your ankle bone. Make sure it's not falling in or out. Press this right knee towards your nose, thigh to your chest. And a step effort lightly forward. Keep your back heel lifted. Again, tips of the fingers on the blocks. Right around that front foot. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Now bring your hands to your hips and press this right hip back. You can use your left hand to press this left hip forward. And then press into your front foot. You're going to bring your chest right up, right over your pelvis. You're going to micro bend your back knee, quite a bit actually, so more than a micro bend. And then this way we can tuck our tailbone down. We're going to keep our tailbone tucked down, straighten your back leg. Inhale, arms up, crescent lunge. Exhale, bend the elbows, bend the back knee so you can gently touch the ground. Inhale, come back up. Straighten the arms. Again, exhale, bend the back knee, touch the ground, bend your elbows. Come back up. Let's do that 2 more times. Or workout, yeah? Last time, this time stay and hover just for a moment. You're like, front thigh, hello, I love you. Hands down on the ground or on your blocks. Step back to a high plank. Legs together, squeeze your legs together. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the mat. Ashta Namaskar. Then sweep your heart forward. Cobra, lifting your heart. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Again, feet hip distance apart. Close your eyes, find your breath. Again, inhale to the balls of the feet. Exhale, heels to the mat. Inhale, left leg up.
Again, you want to lift that leg straight up. So if you have a tendency to lift with a bent knee, so you can lift it with a straight leg. Pressing through that inside seam, drop your head. Spread your toes wide open. Press into your hands to press your hips up and back. And exhale, knee to nose, shoulders right over the wrists. Press the ground away from you. Lift your head, step that foot lightly forward. Keep your back heel lifted. Remember, you don't want your back heel pressing back. You want that heel right over the ball of the foot. Bring your blocks so they're underneath your fingertips. Look at this front knee right over your front ankle bone. Smile. It's part of the practice. Hands at the hips, elbows back. Press into your front foot. Lift your hips, Lift your shoulders right over your hips. Pull the elbows back. Look at your front knee. Make sure it's going straight over that second toe. And find that outer part of that left hip needs to come down towards the ground. This right hip needs to come forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, micro bend your back knee. Tuck your tailbone underneath you. Then straighten the back leg. Slowly exhale, knee comes down, touch. Bend the elbows. Inhale, reach back up, straighten the arms. Exhale, bend the elbows, touch. Inhale, back up. 2 more times. Back up. 1 more time, stay. Enjoy the burn. Breathe in. Then hands flat on the mat. Step back. High plank, legs together. Squeeze your inner thighs. Again, exhale, knees, chest, chin to the mat. Point the legs back. Cobra. Open your heart. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Again, bring your feet hip distance apart. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out fully. Inhale to the balls of the feet. Exhale, heels to the mat. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, if you can touch. Step that foot lightly forward, back heels lifted. Inhale, arms come up, crescent lunge. Stay here and breathe. We need to bring the left arm forward, right hand back. So when we're twisting, we get a little messed up, right? So this knee will fall in. So we look at your right knee, even while you're twisting, make sure it doesn't fall in. You want to pull that right knee and hip back. Challenge your balance, look towards your back hand. We're going to keep the twist. We're going to bring the back knee softly down, touch, and then straighten. And touch, and straighten, and touch, and straighten. 1 more time, touch, stay there. Whoa. Left hand down on the ground and the inside of your right foot straighten the right leg. A simple twist. Again, we have to find our legs, making sure this knee doesn't fall in. Let's take 2 more deep breaths. Then right hand down towards the mat. Step back, high plank. Inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the mat. Slide forward into a cobra, lifting your heart. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Inhale to the balls of the feet. Exhale, heels to the mat. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Step that foot lightly forward, back heels lifted. Inhale, crescent lunge. Hands come up, whoops. Look at your front knee, make sure it's not falling in or out. Take your right hand back, left hand forward. Sorry, right hand forward, left hand back, twisting. Look at your front knee, so you can see your back hand. Now we're going to bring this right knee down to the mat, touch, and back up. And this whole time you do it, look at your left knee so it doesn't fall in. Again, touch, and back up. 1 more time, touch, and back up. And then last time, touch and stay. You want to scissor these hips, so this right hip's coming forward, left hip back. Right hand down towards the mat, straighten this back leg. You can look up to your left hand. Big inhale. Big exhale, hand floats down towards the mat, step to a high plank, legs together. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the mat. Float forward into a cobra, lifting your heart. Exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Drop your head here for a moment. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, right leg up, getting it lifted straight towards the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the foot lightly forward, back heels lifted. Inhale, arms come up, crescent lunge. Exhale, open up that back foot down to the mat. So you come into a warrior one. Hands are still up towards the sky. Bend into this front knee. So this right hip's coming back, left hip's coming lightly forward. Look at your front knee, make sure it's not falling in. Press into that front heel and the ball of the foot. Imagine that you can pull that heel backwards. And then this back leg, imagine you can scoop it forward. Hands up here towards the sky. Take 2 or 3 deep breaths here. You can sink into this front knee. You can make your stance a little bit wider. And if you feel like you're falling over side to side, you can even make your stance wider left to right. And we're going to open up the back foot to a 45-degree angle and open the arms, warrior two. Sink into your front knee. Again, look at your front knee. Make sure it doesn't fall in or out. Hands reach forward and back. You can look at your back hand. Make sure it's not down here somewhere. In line with your shoulders. Your drishti is your middle finger. Your face is soft. Your breath is full. We'll breathe in. We'll breathe out. We're going to reverse side warrior two. This is a side body stretch. When you reverse it, stay in the bend of this front knee. Make sure the knee doesn't fall in. Find the strength of your legs. This is this time of this inner warrior. So find the inner strength to lift you from the roots up towards the sky. Take another deep breath. Hands float down towards the mat. Find a high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Ashta Namaskar. Float forward into a cobra. Lift your heart. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Find your breath. Find your breathing. Again with a straight leg. We'll first inhale to the balls of the feet. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, left leg up, straight leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Touch. Step that foot lightly forward, back heel stays lifted. Inhale, crescent lunge. Take a breath in. Bring your back heel down, warrior one. You lift your chin, your chest here. You're lifting from the sternum up towards the sky. Inhaling. Exhale, look at your front knee. Bend into that front thigh. Pull this front hip back, back and forward. There's a scissoring of the hips. Now open up warrior two, so that back foot opens up to like a 45-degree angle. There's this arc line through the back leg too. So you don't want the outer part of your right foot to lift from the mat. You're trying to ground that, but lift your inner arch. And then make sure this front knee doesn't fall in. Find your inner arch in your front foot. And breathe. Your back hand is the same height as your shoulders. You're reaching your fingers away from you. Soften your eyes. Tip of the tongue behind the two front teeth. Breathe, yeah. Sink a little bit deeper if you can. Inhaling. Exhaling. Back hand comes down the back leg. Reverse your warrior. Nice side body stretch. Bend into that front knee a little bit more if you can. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more. Spiral the hands down towards the mat. Find that high plank. Take a deep breath in, legs together. Squeeze the legs. And exhale, knees, chest, chin to the mat. And flow forward to a cobra, lifting the heart. Tucking the toes, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Then inhale to the balls of the feet. Exhale, heels to the mat. Inhale, right leg up, straight leg. Exhale, knee to nose if you can touch. Step that foot lightly forward. Back heel to the mat for warrior one. Inhale, arms up. Open up warrior two. And we take side angle. So first we're going to reach our body. A little bit of core work here. Reach your body all the way forward as far as it can go. Stay here and breathe. This front hip, you're trying to tuck it underneath you. So if it's pressing out to the side like this, you don't want to do that. You want to bring it back. This is this outer spiral of the front hip. Reach the body forward. Now, yogi's choice, elbow on the knee, or you can use a block. You can bring it on the inside of the leg, I prefer. That way you can press the knee into your arm and breathe. The opposite arm, extend it over your ear towards the space in front of you. Remember your back leg. Find your toes in your back foot, lift them up, spread them, bring that baby toe down, ground it, root it. Big toe, find the inner arch of that back leg. Breathe here. The hand, if it's on the block or on the knee, you're not resting into it. You're allowing your core to work here. You want to tuck this front hip underneath you. Take another fresh breath here. Keep this front knee bent. Reverse your warrior two. This quadricep should be burning, which is good. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Nice side body stretch. Bend into this front knee just a little bit more. Inhaling. Exhale, windmill the arms down towards the mat. Breathing in. Come to a high plank. Then exhale, knees, chest, chin. Asha Namaskar. Roll forward into a cobra, lifting your heart. Tucking the toes, downward facing dog. And feet about hip distance apart. Find your breath. Then inhale to the balls of the feet. Inhale, heels down. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. You can touch. Step the foot lightly forward, back heel to the mat. Ready for your warrior one. You're not using your spine, you're using your legs here. This left hip, press it back towards the ground behind you. Inhale, come up. Straight spine, hands towards the sky. Bend into the front knee here. Look at your alignment. Make sure this front knee points right over that second toe, your foundation. Remember the foundation of a house, the roots of a tree, from your foot, through your ankle, through your lower leg. Open up, warrior two. Again, keep looking at your legs. This is all about legs. Your legs may be shaking, and that's good too. Breathe in here. Now we're going to do that little core exercise. So reach your body as far forward as possible here. As you're reaching forward, this front hip, this groin, you want to soften this groin back. Make it as soft as possible. Reach, reach, reach. We'll stay here and smile. Let's take 2 or 3 big smiles together. One more. Now your elbow can come on your knee or on a block on the inside of the foot. Remember the block has different heights too. Top hand spirals over your ear. When the arm comes over your ear, see if you can just take the shoulder just away from the ear a little bit. And the hand that's on the block or the knee, don't lean into it. Use your core. Maybe float your fingers. Maybe float your elbow. Breathe here. Breathing in. Breathe out. Remember this front hip, you want to spiral it underneath you. Take one more deep breath. One more big smile. And press into your front foot. Come all the way up. Reverse your warrior two. Keep that bend in the front knee. Back hand reaches down the back leg. It's just resting. 2 more big breaths. And spiral the hands down towards the mat. Move your blocks out the way. Hands flat. Find a high plank. Squeeze the legs towards the midline. Then exhale, knees, chest, chin to the earth. Spiral forward into a cobra. Lift your heart. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Feel your feet. Feel your legs. Find your breath. Let's inhale here to the balls of the feet. Exhale, heels to the mat. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, if you can touch. Step the foot lightly forward. Back heel to the mat. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Now we're going to bring our weight forward again. Stay here for a moment. Now you can bring a block so it can be underneath your fingers, about 6 inches in front of your baby toe. So standing poses or balancing poses are the best for finding our legs. Bring your fingertips down the block. You're going to take your back foot, just bump it in about 2 or 3 feet. And then bring your weight into the front leg. And the front leg, if you look at it, it's gonna like buckle in and out. So these are the small muscles just trying to find that space. So look at your toes, lift and spread them as wide as they can go. Bring the baby toe down first and the big toe. Find your inner arch, lift it up. From that, you'll start to engage your quadricep, make it strong. We don't over straighten this front leg, a micro bend. You want to bring this hip back and underneath you. Top leg has to work. It's not a dead fish, it's not hanging down here. The foot is flexed. You're pressing through the ball of the foot. You're lifting it up. You're breathing. The top hand can float up towards the sky. So you can smooth out your breath. Breathing in. Breathing out. Let's take 2 more. Softly, you're going to bend into the standing leg. We're going to float this back foot down about 3 or 4 feet away from the front foot. As the foot comes down straight and into your front leg, we're going to find Uttita Trikonasana, triangle pose. So your hand can be on the block or on your shin. The block has many heights. It can be on the outside of your leg, it can be on the inside of your leg. This whole upper thigh needs to spiral underneath you. Then the top arm can reach it up towards the sky. You're going to breathe in and breathe out. Through this under part of your body, make it longer, and your top part of your body a little shorter. A dynamic sort of energy in that part of the body, in the side body. Longer on the bottom, short on the top, top hand up, and this bottom hand, it's not leaning into the block or the foot. You can elevate it. It can even be pressing just the hand on the leg. Big inhale. Big exhale. It's like a little resting pose. Take another big inhale. Exhale, bend into this front knee again. You can move your block on the outside of this right foot. Again, Ardha Chandra, half moon pose. Lift the leg up. Find your standing leg. From the inside seam. Even your outer ankle, pull it back. Quadricep is engaged, your lifted leg, the foot is flexed. Inhaling. Exhaling. Again, bend into your front knee, float this back foot about 4 feet, 5 feet back. Reverse into a warrior 2. Stay here and breathe. 1 more big breath. Then spiral the hands down towards the mat. Find yourself in a high plank. And again, exhale, knees, chest, chin to the mat. Float forward into a cobra, lifting your heart. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Crown of the head towards the mat. Inhale to the balls of the feet. Exhale, heels down. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the foot lightly forward, back heel to the mat. Inhale up into your warrior 1. Oops. Open up warrior 2. Now we have to find ourselves where we're going to move. So again, let's lengthen this body over this front leg. Reach as far as it can go. Then you're going to drip the fingers down about 6 inches in front of this baby toe. This back foot, just bump it in maybe 1 or 2 feet. Then lift up your right leg. Trying to stack the hips on top of each other. You want to keep this lifted leg nice and strong and straight. Your bottom leg, look at your toes, spread them wide open. Bring them down from the baby side all the way to the big toe. Your inner arch, micro bend your standing knee. Breathe here, you can look down to the ground to help you. We're focusing more on our legs and the functions that it does, the foundation it creates. Lift your lifted leg just a little higher. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's do 2 more big breaths here. This whole side body is nice and long. 1 more big breath. And we softly bend into the standing leg, and this top leg is going to float about 3 to 4 feet away from the front leg. Straightening the front leg. Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Hands straight up towards the sky. Micro bend your front knee. Think about your shoulder blades coming towards each other. If it feels good, you can look up towards your top hand. This bottom hand, either on the inside or on a block, floating. Remember that little movement, the underside of your body is longer, top side is shorter. The micro bend in the knee. Find your inner arches, lift them. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bend into your standing leg. Run this finger about 6 inches in front of your baby toe. Lift up that leg again. Ardha Chandra. It's an easy pose. Keep your gaze at one drishti. Keep this lifted leg lifted. Your standing leg. Micro bend the knee. Lift your toes, spread them wide open. The outer part of your hip, pull it back towards the space behind you. Keep that lifted leg lifted. Let's take 2 more deep breaths. 1 more. Bend into your standing leg. Bring this top leg about 3 to 4 feet, or actually 4 feet back. Come into your warrior 2. Reverse it. Keep that bend into your front knee. Inhaling. Exhale the hands down towards the mat. Find yourself in high plank. Inhale here. Then exhale, knees, chest, chin to the mat. Scooch forward into a cobra. This time just bend your knees, bring your hips to your heels. Much needed child's pose. Close your eyes. Connect to your breath. Connect to your breathing. Inhale, come forward to a tabletop, tuck your toes under. Bring your hips back onto your heels. So we're going to sit on our toes. We've done this before, toe crunch. Find your baby toe. Bring it lightly forward. Tuck your tailbone underneath you, right hand, left hand up, right palm on top of that. Tips of the thumbs touch. Roll your shoulders up and back. Sitting nice and tall. Eyes are softly closed. Let's connect to our breath, to our breathing. Ujjayi breath. Feel the breath as it moves through your nose. Feel your heart rate. With every breath, you're allowing the heart center to relax. Come back to its natural, healthy rhythm. Inhale, hold the breath this time. Bring the fingertips down as you exhale, roll over onto your heels. We come into Malasana. The feet can be together or further apart. You're going to walk your hands forward, stretching your lower spine. Then walk the hands back towards your feet. You're going to slowly straighten the legs, squeeze the legs towards the midline. Fold in here. You can walk your hands so the fingertips are in alignment with your toes or even further back. Then bend the knees here. Squeeze the knees towards each other. Keep your spine nice and long. Keep the knees bent. You're going to find Utkatasana chair pose. Hands up towards the sky. Look up. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Keep your left knee bent. Bring your right knee all the way up. Keep the left knee bent. And then see if you can extend the right leg out straight and straighten your left leg. And we're going to fold forward. Take this right leg back. We're just going to hinge at the hips. Find your standing leg. You're going to bend into your standing leg again. Bend your right knee into your chest. And foot down, bend the knees. Keep bending the knees, bring your hands forward. So you keep your heels down. You bring your hips as far down as possible. Then come all the way back up to Utkatasana, knees together, hands up. This time left up, your left knee into your chest. Keep the right knee bent. And slowly start to extend out your left leg and straighten your right leg. And hinge. Bring that left leg up. And start to bend your right knee. Bring your left knee back into your chest. Foot down, knees bent all the way down, so you can keep your heels down. Come back up, Utkatasana. Stay here. Hands in the place of the heart, straighten the legs, close your eyes. Once more, connect with your breath, your breathing. Smooth it all out. Maybe there's little bumps in it. Smooth it out. So look down at your feet. Bring your feet together, lift and spread your toes. Make them as wide as they can go. Baby toe comes down. Fourth, third, second, big toe. Micro bend your knees just a little. You lift up the right knee to the chest. Give it a nice squeeze, hug. Find your dressage look and then pull the right knee out towards the side. Flex the foot. Slide your hand down to the ankle and then see if you can pull the foot into your inner thigh. Now you want it above your knee or below your knee. So above the knee doesn't work, you bring it below the knee. And hands at the heart center. So tree pose. Find your drishti. A place to see, a place to look at. Tuck your tailbone underneath you. This bent knee out to the side, that hip's coming down. Keep your left knee micro bent. Little wobbles are good. If it feels good, reach your arms towards the sky. If it feels good, smile. Breathe, maybe you lift your chin to your chest, wobble, wobble. Or trees, blow in the wind. Your foot that's on your thigh, press it into your thigh, and then the thigh into your foot, like a suction cap. We'll take 2 more deep breaths here. And then the right knee into your chest. Relax it down and hands flow back into the heart center. Close your eyes. Listen to your breath. You're going to inhale to the balls of the feet, squeeze your ankle bones together. Exhale, heels down. You can inhale, squeeze the legs together, your heels together, come onto the balls of your feet. Heels down. One more time. To the balls of feet, squeeze inner ankles, inner feet. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Heels down, close your eyes. Micro bend your knees. Find the foundation of your right foot. Pull the left knee into your chest. Pull it up. And take the knee out. You're guiding it out. Flex the foot. Bring your hand to the ankle bone. And to the inside of your foot here. Press it into the midline. Squeeze everything in. It brings everything up from your ankle bone all the way up. Hands in the place of the heart. Find your balance. Find your drishti. And hands up towards the sky. Smile, because it feels good. Maybe you wave like a tree in the wind. Whoa. All over the place. Wherever you want to go. Maybe you try this out, your hands waving. Or maybe it just naturally does it. All these little bounces today. Take another deep breath. Knee to the chest. Exhale, hands down to the heart center. Close your eyes. Your eyes closed, squeeze your legs towards the midline, come to the balls of the feet, ankle bones together, heels down, or maybe a little cheating look at the floor. Try it again. However high you can come, and then down. We'll do that one more time. And then down, hands to the place of the heart, close your eyes. Breathing in, breathing out. We're going to step our feet to the wider edges of our mat so you can come parallel on your mat. Lightly turn your toes out, bend the knees, bring your hands on your knees here, and you're going to wave the body side to side. Bring your arms, your hands on the inside of the legs. Bow your chest slightly forward, and then bow your right shoulder down through the center line. Use this to pull the knees or press the knees out to the outside of the mat or outwards. Then come through the center, then to the opposite side. And do each side a little bit more, like 2 more times. One more. Come through center, keep the knees bent, hands in the place of the heart. For a moment, let's see if we can lift up our heels. Whoa. Stay here, breathe. Sink your bottom down. Heels down, hands to the mat, straighten the legs to your toes so they're parallel. Inhale, come halfway lift. Exhale, simply fold in. You can bend your elbows and place your opposite hand in your opposite elbow. Let your body swing like a pendulum side to side, gliding across the earth. Big inhale, big exhale. And fingertips to the mat. Make your feet a little bit wider. Turn your right toes out at a 45-degree angle. We're going to bend deeply into this right knee. We're going to come into Skandasana, a little inner thigh stretch. And turn towards the right side. The right knee is going to be facing forward and your left knee is going to come down to the mat. Keep your left hand where it is. Take your right hand back, bend the left knee, grab the foot, press the foot back, a little quadricep stretch. Yeah, you want to flex the foot, press the foot back. There's a little shoulder stretch in this too. Make sure your ankle and your knee are aligned. That second toe. Release the foot, bring your hands on the inside of the right foot, lift up the back knee, Skandasana. Now float your body towards that left knee, bend the left knee, turn the toes lightly out, straighten this right leg. Again, there's a micro bend in the knee here, so you're not over pressing through the joint. Feel that inner thigh stretch. And turn to your left knee, bring the right knee down towards the mat, right hand at a 45-degree angle out. Bend the right knee, catch the foot. Press the foot back into your hand, or quadricep stretch. And keep the foot flexed. Breathing in. And breathing out. Gently release that foot, come back, Skandasana on the left. And we come back through the center, straighten both legs, bow in. And heel to your feet a little closer to each other. Like a nice wide Malasana, drop your hips towards the mat, bring your hands behind your hips. See for a moment if you can lift yourself up. It's not part of legs, but just for a fun thing to do. Then hips down, extend your legs nice and wide. You can always keep your block here, or you can move it out the way. Bring your pelvis so it's like in a forward tilt. So if you feel like you are tilting back like this, you can always sit on your blanket. You can always place your blanket behind you. Like a little wedge, and sit up on it. You want your toes facing straight up towards the sky. You want to press your Achilles down. This little arch, you want to press down your knees. You want to press down. Inhale, lengthen your body up. And then exhale, we're going to come forward. Crown of the head towards the mat. Stay here, Upavishta Konasana. So even if we're in this stretching, the feet aren't going to fall out or in. Toes are going to stay straight up towards the sky. We want to keep our quadriceps engaged. This is highly important to help the hamstrings so we don't overstretch the hamstrings here. Quadriceps are always engaged when you're stretching your hamstrings. Keep pressing the thigh bones down. And breathing in. Breathing out, maybe you walk your arms a bit further forward. Maybe you can come to a place of rest. You can make a little pillow with your hands. One fist on top of the other one. Just check your feet out. Make sure that they're not falling over. You want those toes facing straight up towards the sky. There's a lot of work in the legs. Use your legs to press them down so you can lengthen your upper body further away from the hips. Let's do about 4 more deep breaths here. So after all that standing, our skin is glowing, the body is gently heated. We get a little bit deeper into the backs of the legs. Those hamstrings, that tight back line of the body. Let's do one more big breath. peel yourself all the way up. Bring your fingertips underneath your knees. You're going to bring your legs to the midline of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands next to the hips, so Dandasana. So nice and tall, feet are engaged, legs are engaged. Inhale, lift your chin and your chest. Exhale, chin to chest, gazes down to the point of the nose, Nasagna Drishti. Toes are flared like flowers, lotus petals. Each lotus perfectly placed upon a pond, floating effortlessly. Find your Ujjayi breath. Spine is nice and long. Inhaling here. Exhaling. Again, inhale, arms up, reach up. Exhale, hands over the feet or on the edges of the feet. If you have a strap or something, you can wrap it around your feet. And inhale to lengthen the body. And then you're going to exhale, you're going to fold in. So we're looking more at the hamstrings and the spine. So we're going to keep our spine nice and long here. So instead of rounding the spine like this, think about straightening the spine. So it doesn't matter how far down you come. It's more about pressing the legs into the earth. Using the strength of your arms to pull the body forward and over. Keep breathing. Let's do 2 more big breaths. One more. And then inhale, you're going to come up, hands towards the sky, squeeze your legs towards the midline. Now we're going to round our back, we're going to come slowly down, vertebra by vertebra. Use your legs as brakes and take your time here, really take your time. Squeeze your navel to your lower spine. No need to rush anything here. Slowly, slowly, slowly does it. You can feel your whole spine like unfurling onto the earth, vertebra by vertebra. As the head comes down, pull your right knee into your chest, give it a squeeze. Hip lightly out towards the knee, lightly out towards the side. And extend the leg straight up towards the sky, flex the foot, hold onto the ankle or foot, pull the leg slowly in towards you. Look at your foot, spread the toes wide open, flex the foot. I'm going to gently guide this right foot towards the left side with my left hand. Take it all the way across slowly. It doesn't have to come all the way down towards the ground. You can bend your left elbow, make a little kickstand, and then take your right thumb into the crease of this right thigh. Pull it down and away from you. A nice twist through the spinal stretch through that outer thigh and the ITB. Breathe in again. Breathe out. We'll do 2 more of those big breaths. Inhaling. Last breath. And then slowly bring the leg all the way up. Gently draw the leg towards you. Nice stretch. And then bend the knee. Give it a nice hug. Bring the left knee into your chest. Squeeze it in. Right leg extends straight on the mat. Flex the foot. Really reach that heel away from you. And slowly begin to straighten out this left leg. Hold onto the ankle bone or to the calf muscle. Pull the foot in towards you. Flex the foot. And now we're going to slowly take this left leg towards the right side. Use your right hand to guide it. Keep that leg as straight as possible. And then you can bend the elbow. Bring the elbow down. You can make a little kickstand. So it doesn't have to come all the way down towards the ground. You allow the foot to come to where it needs to come. Flex the foot. Use your left thumb into the crease of this left hip. Press the left hip away from you. Really create space to your side body. So that's that outer spiral here. Find your natural flow of your breath. Gentle breathing in. Gentle breathing out. One more big breath. Inhale, leg all the way back up. Hold them to that ankle bone or calf. Pull the leg in towards you. And bend the knee, pull the knee into your chest. Give it a nice hug. Right knee comes back in. Give it a nice hug. Rocking side to side. Legs go straight up towards the sky. You're going to hook your thumbs underneath your sacrum. Just place them on the ground. Flex your feet. And then squeeze the legs so much towards the midline. Your inner thighs should start to squeak because they are squeezing so much together. And slowly lower the feet towards the mat. Draw your navel into your lower spine until the feet softly land on the earth. Once they land on the earth, take your thumbs out. Roll your palms out towards the sky. Hook your shoulder blades underneath you together. Lengthen your head. Look towards your feet. Lift your head. And then slowly unfurl your head so you're lengthening out the back of your neck. Once the head comes down, take a deep breath in. Squeeze your hands and your feet. And as you exhale through the mouth, let it all go. Again, as you breathe in deeply, squeeze hands and feet. Exhale, let it go. One more. Inhale, squeeze hands and feet and face and tummy and toes. And let it all go. Let your body melt into the puddle. A puddle of softness, smoothness, allowingness. Feel the body just simply melt.
Tree of life. Stand tall and proud. Remember your roots. Be content with your natural beauty. Drink plenty of water and enjoy the view. If you are busily performing deeds but never stop to reach up for knowledge and wisdom, our tree of life will have no branches and many roots. Without branches, how can it move and respond with the winds of life? Or if we accumulate great knowledge but perform no deeds, then we are like a tree with many branches but no roots, and we will be blown over by the winds of fortune. We must see that our tree of life contains both wisdom and deeds. Then our branches will spread and our deep roots will provide support and nourishment. We will be able to survive the storms and droughts that life presents us. So just for today, is your tree of life blossoming and secure, or do you need to put down more roots or grow more branches? So, discovering your breath, your breathing, allowing your breath to be like a gentle friend that whispers in your ear and says, "That's okay. It's now time to reawaken to the world, for us to journey, to grow our roots, to grow our branches, to explore." So allow your breath to gently reawaken you back to the space. Feel your breath as it moves through you, finding your toes. Wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the nose. Allow the wiggling to come into the ankles, the hands, and even the head. Take a fresh breath here. Stretch your arms over your head, lengthen the body out. You can open your mouth, stick out your tongue. Squeeze your eyeballs with your eyelids. Reach the body, make it longer and longer. And then gently, gently roll to one side, curl the knees to your chest, resting. Allow the body to rest once more back into that gentle puddle. That puddle of perfection. Take a moment in the space to reflect on your intention. See it. Feel it. Smile into it, knowing it is done. And slowly bring your hands to the earth. Press yourself up, find a comfortable seat. We'll join our hands together at the place of our heart, Atma Anjali. Again, feel our legs on the ground, press them down. See how your legs feel a little bit different than before when we're first seated. Take note of that. Stay nice and tall as you breathe in through the crown of your head. Exhale, chin to chest. Offering gratitude for the space where we come to practice. The space that life offers us for our own self-healing, our inner awareness, self-exploration. And so from my heart to yours, may you always be blessed. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you. Let's take a card and see what guidance. And these are tree cards, and I randomly opened the book to that page, the Tree of Life, so I thought that was quite interesting. It's like a little oracle in itself. So let us see what the tree has to offer us today. She's coming in again. In fact, the tree of life, tree of knowledge, is one of my master guides. So I always find myself very connected to trees. And tree knowledge always seems to be crystal clear. Tree wisdom. Let's take another deep breath. Exhale all the air out. And it says rainbow blessings. And it's a sky with its blue, and there's clouds that are clearing, and there's space in the clouds, and there's a rainbow across. So it's like, as the world is feeling cloudy and feeling, confusing, there's this clearing that is happening. This place of magic that wishes to come through, a place where we are being reminded that we're more than just this life, that we're more than just this body, we're more than just this 3D reality we're experiencing. And so this is opportunity for us to lift our heads towards the sky and to say thank you for the blessings that fall around us each and every day. And may we wish to see a rainbow in the sky, especially here in California. So it means that there'll be rain. So we hope and we wish and we hope for the blessings of rain to rain upon us. So, there is this sense of good luck. There's a sense of something coming towards us. There's space for us to see. We may not see it exactly yet. We have to look carefully to see the opening. But there is blue sky, there is space, there is clearness. But even though things may look dark, things may look a little bit misty or not clear, but beyond this, there's something that is coming. So the blessings are being bestowed, and all we have to say is thank you for the blessings, and to do our work and to, again, lift our hearts and lift our mind towards the sky, towards that rainbow light. So it's also like a little healing as well. We can imagine this rainbow color all around us in our auric space. If we see somebody that's not feeling so well, complaining a lot, we can say rainbow blessings and just imagine them in rainbow light. So hopefully that makes some sense. So my dear, from my heart to yours, may you always be blessed. Namaste.